I'm sure we're all familiar with the new show in the MLP franchise, Pony Life. Now, I'll have to admit, I haven't watched Pony Life yet, and I don't really think I'll have any intention on watching it anytime soon. And nor was I interested in checking out what other people had to say about it. But after watching Star Giant Productions' review of it, I think that's going to change. Now, first I want to talk about Star Giant herself. I don't really have too much to say about her content. I haven't really watched much of her videos. But I do know she's mainly a cartoon and animation reviewer. But in her review on Pony Life, there's a lot in that review that really bugged me. You know, seeing as it's a commentary, I think I might as well show you the stuff in her video, so maybe y'all will see what I mean.
I even have plans on me doing a special review for when the show turns 10 years old in a few months, as well as me working on a reanimate project on the pilot episode. But of course, because Hasbro saw how profitable this show was amongst bronies, instead of just ending Friendship is Magic with its 3-part finale back in October 2019, they decided to milk the MLP franchise even further.
Yeah, but that 3-part finale was just meant to be the end of Friendship is Magic, not the entire My Little Pony franchise as a whole. Let's not forget we have a Generation 5 on the way. And this new Pony Life show, you gotta keep in mind, this is not meant to be like the original show, the Friendship is Magic. It's meant to be completely different. More detail on that later.
Because of the internet, this now is used for modern animation cliches. You'll notice that Pony Life has these bean smiles. So I'm going to end this stupid discussion once and for all to tell you the correct name of this modern animation style. The correct name is Only 6 Faces. That is the actual correct name. It has always been that name. It's what South Park does. What it means is that the characters in your show have a limited number of facial expressions. You usually get 1 per emotion. You have 1 for happiness, 1 for sadness, 1 for anger, 1 for scare, 1 for tiredness, and 1 for annoyed. You get my point. You more or less have, like, only 6 faces. In fact, My Little Pony is even in the TV trope section on 6 faces. And that's what Pony Life has for 50% of its facial expressions. It's just the same copy-paste face throughout the whole show. Friendship is Magic is memorable in its animation because it was able to go above and beyond with its faces. Not as good as, say, SpongeBob, but something that you could consider a close second. Animation is the best medium for exaggeration. So when your animation becomes stiff, it makes me question why you just don't do it in live action. And don't say because magic. There are live action shows, even aimed for little girls, that have magic. Oh.
Yeah, but this show still has a bunch of talking ponies. Just because the faces aren't really that expressive 50% of the time, still doesn't give you the excuse to complain that this show might as well be live action. Because like I said a few seconds ago, they're still talking horses.
So I can only assume that the people who did the art of this show intentionally went out of their way to make the backgrounds look as wrong as possible. And every single episode has this problem. And many places across each episode. Why would anyone think this was good? According to the creator of this show, she chose the backgrounds to be like this to make it more romantic. Since when was MLP, not just Friendship is Magic, any version of MLP, ever about romance? The original show wasn't about romance. G1.5 wasn't about romance. How even Friendship is Magic outside of its Valentine's Day episodes and the wedding episodes didn't really do romance. MLP is not a franchise on romance. Hell, even Pony Life ain't on romance.
You know, you didn't have to bring up the previous generations just for this argument. You could have just said, but Pony Life isn't about romance. And that's it. And what if there wanted to be a generation that wanted to try romance out? It could still be able to do that. So from what I heard, this show has potions now that the main 6 drink occasionally. And she then goes into detail on why she thinks the potions are pointless to the show. And while her first point about them don't really having much of a use since it's more slice of life based, it's a good point. But her second point...
And that, of course, does lead to my second biggest problem with this show on the potions part. See, I can kind of see these potions working if they were all Earth ponies, and, you know, didn't have magic. In this show, they still have their magic. And it comes the fuck out of nowhere at times. The first time that I watched this show, I thought that the unicorns wouldn't have magic in the series because of the potions. What's the point of the unicorns having magic if the potions exist? And yes, Rarity and Twilight also drink the potions. Sometimes Rarity will pull things out thin air without using her magic, only for her to use her magic a second later for something else. And keep in mind, this is often done in the same scene. Is this show trying to troll me?
Yeah, but can't unicorn magic just mostly affect others and other odd objects and ponies and stuff? And furthermore, what if a certain unicorn doesn't even know how to use a spell to make them stretch or something yet, and just maybe have to rely on a potion or something?
Look at this scene here. Pinkie Pie and Rarity are doing the exact same faces. When you have two different characters doing the exact same faces for a good minute, it makes you question why you have two different characters. You only need one character here. Look at this scene here. All of them had the exact same facial expression. If their heads were all different colors, I could face swap them and there would be no...
Hold on. In the image, in the footage you showed, let's talk about the first footage first. Pinkie Pie and Rarity aren't really making the same faces. I mean, yeah, they could be similar, but they're still somewhat different. And the second image you showed, absolutely not all of them are making the same face, because Rainbow Dash is probably just blinking in that image, and Pinkie Pie has different eyes. You could have just said most of them have the same faces. That could have worked better. You didn't have to say all of them. Come on.
It sounds even worse than the Friendship is Magic theme song.
Please, just one last dance.
Okay, that line right there from Rarity sounds sexual. I just love how they just have Pinkie Pie do the Peter Griffin pose at the end. Ha ha ha, isn't that funny? Can we please stop imitating a pedophile? Then again, Hilda from Hilda did that. She also did the Peter Griffin.
Does that seem like a very random comparison? Comparing Pinkie Pie to Peter Griffin from Family Guy? Because they did the same pose. Can't anyone do that pose? Can't any character do a pose like this? And you even brought up Hydia doing this pose. Like any character can do this pose.
Remember how at the end of Friendship is Magic intro, it then said, created by Lauren Faust? Yeah, we don't get that this time around. I have no idea who the hell made this show. Can you name me any other cartoon that doesn't say who created this show? I can't either.
Actually, I can name a few cartoon intros that don't name their creator. The Jimmy Neutron intro doesn't name the creator. The As Told by Ginger intro doesn't name the creator. The Total Drama intro doesn't name the creator. The Teen Titans intro doesn't name the creator. And the Unikitty intro doesn't name the creator. And even if you really wanted to know the creator, you could easily just look it up. It's no big deal.
Meanwhile, Tabitha, aka Rarity, voicing Spike is even more confusing. I think we all need to address the elephant in the room, or should I say, dragon in the room?
Which is not to say, of course, I'm not open to voicing Spike again.
Well, this is the future now. Pony Life is in the future. A shitty future, but it's a future nonetheless. I don't think COVID should have affected you voicing Spike. Can't voice actors voice from home? Isn't that how the Phineas and Ferb movie's being made? Isn't this why animation is technically booming right now? Because you can work at it from your home? I have no idea if this was Hasbro's decision to not allow Kathy, or she changed her mind. I don't know, but this seems suspicious.
Okay, I won't get mad at you here because it did sound like you were confused about the whole thing. But I've heard from Tootsie Forever's video on the show that the original actor for Spike pretty much wanted to stop voicing him after Friendship is Magic ended. And that was the time where COVID wasn't taking over the world right now. I miss those times. But what I'm trying to say is, like I said, you did sound confused at this, but I don't think it was because of COVID that she didn't want to stop voicing Spike.
Another thing that bugs me on the tablets and phones is how they charge them. Let me show you this scene.
Okay, installation complete.
You saw that, right? Twilight charged up her phone using a cloud. This is just confusing. Now, if Twilight used a lightning bolt from the cloud to charge her phone, that would have been clever. We've seen Friendship is Magic proved by just taking a cloud produces electricity, but using the cloud entirely makes no sense. Cloud
You know, there is something called the digital cloud that we use to save data and stuff. And seeing as this is supposed to be a different show, I think I'm honestly not too upset about that, because I think they were probably just referring it to as a digital cloud. If they did that, I would have been okay with it.
Oh, but she's not the only character to get flanderized. At least you could make the argument that they flanderized her in the right direction. Then you got Applejack, though that's even worse. Actually, I'm only calling her Applejack in quotes, because this is not Applejack. Like, nothing about her is the same. In this version of the show, she breaks the fourth wall.
Did you miss this? I missed this.
No, I do not. I don't remember you at all ever breaking the fourth wall once in the original show. Pinkie Pie did all the time, and yet she doesn't even do it once in this show. Meanwhile, AJ here breaks the fourth wall once per episode. What's the point of reusing the same characters if you're just gonna change up their personalities?
So here he's talking about how they flanderized the characters. And here she talks about how AJ breaks the fourth wall like once an episode. That shouldn't be a big deal, because not only is this shouldn't really change a character trait up, but can't any character break the fourth wall in a cartoon? It's not like it can be limited to like one person. And like I said, this shouldn't be that big a change. And this is a different show. Hang on. Save your energy for later. Save your energy for later.
Sense. Pinkie Pie's goal is to be on a TV reality show. Aren't those things dead in 2020? And, you know, Friendship is Magic was in the steampunk era technology, or late 19th century or early 20th century up until the 1930s. Yeah, I know the Friendship is Magic show had video game machines and cameras, so it's like the 90s. But regardless, despite Friendship is Magic being made in the 2010s, the show really did feel like they could take place at any time. Timeless shows are a good thing to be. Meanwhile, Pony Life is the most dated cartoon I have ever seen.
Just because a cartoon has a bunch of modern technology, modern-like technology in there, shouldn't automatically mean it's dated. I mean, look at some of the movies from the 90s. Those still had like modern technology and a bunch of references to the 90s and stuff, but people still like those. You know, wouldn't really say they're dated. And keep in mind, this is supposed to be different from Friendship. Save your energy, man. Save your energy. That's coming later. But like I said, modern technology in a cartoon shouldn't automatically equal dated, as long as they don't go overboard.
Oh, by the way, they don't just lie in this one episode and reveal the truth at the end. No, they keep the lie going. I thought that was only going to be in this episode, but they keep this lie up for multiple episodes. At least 5 episodes. Oh, and to this date, so far, they still haven't told her the truth.
But aren't we just pretending to be a Trail Trotters troupe? Yep, but she thinks we're supposed to throw a party to attract new ponies to join.
The main 6 in the original show never realized that lying was a good thing. Hell, I can't think of any other cartoon that taught that lying was a good thing. Why does Pony Life teach lying is a good thing? Was this written by Twitter?
So in this segment of the review, she talks about how the morals in Pony Life are toxic. Well, she might have a good point here and there about Fluttershy wanting to attend something made for little kids. What really bugs me here is when she talks about this ongoing lie the main 6 do. I mean, if it only lasts for like 5 episodes, there could be a chance that they're eventually gonna spill the beans and tell Fluttershy the truth. You can't just judge something like this. What if it's an arc? What if they're trying to set up some kind of arc? What I'm trying to say is, don't judge stuff like this until maybe just wait till more episodes come out and maybe they'll tell the truth to Fluttershy. Okay, we're almost done. I'm gonna skip to some part I'm gonna skip to the conclusion, and this is where things get really stupid.
What the fuck even is this show? They show well continuity, except that it does happen when they are assholes. Then there's no more lore. Character development, continuity, impressive animation, all gone now. Now it's just annoying character doing slice of life.
I can't believe you actually said that. No, seriously, I cannot believe you actually said that. Just when I thought you weren't going to say something stupid like that, you actually bring it up at the very tip end of the video. In fact, throughout the entire review, he's mostly just comparing the show to Friendship is Magic, when that shouldn't be the case. If this show is clearly trying to be different from Friendship is Magic, so what if it doesn't have lore? So what if it doesn't have continuity? So what does it have to have major character development? So what if it doesn't have action? Just let it be different! Just let it be different. You can't judge it like that. You can't judge it by comparing it to Friendship is Magic. Just judge it on its own. Well, I wouldn't say this was as painful to watch as, say, any of Miss Anthropony's videos, because at least sometimes he does acknowledge that it's just his opinion. This review still rubbed me the wrong way. Not in a frustrating way, but his points, some of the points he brings up don't really make much sense to me, and especially him comparing it to Friendship is Magic. And keep in mind, I haven't watched Pony Life yet, so you know you failed at making a review when I haven't even watched the source material you're reviewing. And for anyone who's trying to get into Pony Life, don't compare it to Friendship is Magic. Don't expect it to be like Friendship is Magic. Don't even complain about it not being like Friendship is Magic, because it's meant to be different. There have been many franchises out there like Scooby-Doo, Ninja Turtles, and Batman that have many different TV shows and movies that are much different from the original source material, and that's fine. And if this 4.5 generation wants to be based more on comedy than lore, don't complain about that, please. Just judge it on its own. You don't have to like it. I mean, if he doesn't like it, that's fine. It's his opinion. But he can't complain because it's different. Just don't complain that it's different. And that is how you not critique Pony Life.